Well, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. It got really wet last night, so no bean cutting right away this morning. You can see my whole windows are covered in frost and they're thawing out, and the grass is just really wet, so it's going to be probably after lunch before we can go back to cutting soybeans, but that's okay because we're going to work on our ditch project for a while. I don't know if you watched the video when I done the emergency hose repair on the hoe. I said we're gonna get this ditch project knocked out today. Well, a little after we got that hose fixed, we decided to go cut beans. So went back to the shop, got 1660 finished up, and got Dad cutting beans, and I went back and worked on the L2. So not much got done on this ditch after that hose repair, which is okay, because on the good dry afternoons we'd rather go cut beans. This ditch really isn't too pressing, so that's kind of how we juggle the excavating and the farming. Is when it's wet we do the excavating, when it's dry we do the farming, so works out pretty good. So this morning we're gonna continue to stack some brush. We got some huge cottonwoods we gotta get up on the pile, and we're going to leave these piled for a little bit, and then we're going to come back and burn them all, let them dry out a little bit. So got the hoe running now, warming up. It got down to 40 last night, so we'll let her warm up a little bit, and then we'll start doing some stacking. So then this afternoon we'll cut some beans. So let's see how it goes. So we're going to get this whole pile of big cottonwood logs stacked up, get them up there on the pile, let them dry for a little while, then they'll burn. I need a way of splitting these big logs up. Drop it on there, that way it breaks the rest of the little limbs under it. Makes a good tight pile. I used to have a Norwood bandsaw mill that I used to take a lot of these home and cut them up, but it got to be a lot of work by myself because, you know, every time I'd say, oh, let's go run the sawmill, everybody's like, I got other shit to do. So it was kind of me all by myself a lot of the time, and it just got to be too much work for one guy. And a guy came along that restored old furniture, and I never really cared for that Norwood bandsaw mill anyways. Just wasn't like your heavy-duty spinning blade type sawmills, circular saw types, because it just, I don't know, it wasn't very precise cuts when it get to like knots and stuff. The band would bow over them. And I was just never happy with it. So this guy came along and said that he wanted it for cutting specialty wood out for repairing furniture. And he made me an offer for it. I couldn't resist, and I ended up selling it to him. I don't know where it ever ended up. I never caught where he was from. But he come and loaded up one day and took it, and that was the end of my sawmill experience. But I am in the process of looking for a true circular sawmill. I want to run it with our 720 John Deere diesel. Thought it'd be cool to run it off the pulley wheel and make it also so you can run it off the PTO and probably run it with like our 4430 or something. Do that one at a time. So, kind of something I'm wanting to get into. I mean, these cottonwoods, if you cut them about 2.5 inches thick, they make pretty good lowboy planks. And you can cut blocking and stuff. Used to be a guy in the area that would come cut cottonwood for industrial wood purposes, for, you know, stacking steel on it and stuff like that. But I think he sold out and he doesn't do that anymore. But we used to haul him load after load after load of cottonwood. And really, it wasn't a big money maker, but it got rid of it so we didn't have to sit and burn it. Because the time that we saved just hauling it to him. Saved us time on actually burning it. Because it'll take a while to burn a log this size. It's a 2 or 3 day fire, really. That's a big chunk. So I'm going to get these stacked up, and then we're going to drag a couple of the big trees down, and we're going to get them cut up and get them in this pile. This pile's going to be pretty huge. So, anyways, I'm going to get this cleaned up, and then we'll get some more stuff down here. Well, I'm not real sure what's happening here, but all of a sudden all the cows came and congregated around us when we're trying to work. So I don't know what they're doing. We got to get them out of the way though. So gently. There they go. They're going. That worked. There's still one over there by the pile. See them? They're eating the leaves. Okay, now they're all chased off. We're just for their safety. I don't want anything to hit the poor cows. They're gone now. Good, now they're safe. Okay, we can get back to work now. Dad Strength's got his favorite toy out. Gonna cut that log in half for me so I can get it in the pile. That's an MS 880 steel. It's a nice saw, but it needs a roller tip bar. That bar, it's just the one that the chain slides around the tip, and it takes a lot of performance out of the saw. So we need to get a roller tip, lightweight bar from it, or for it. But it eats wood. Just a little bit left. There we go. Now it's free. I guess I stopped him a little too soon. I didn't want him to have to get the chain down in the dirt. Figured I'll just break the rest. Oh, well, it fell out. They're actually some heavy chunks of wood. There's a lot of wood in these. Wood there. So, okay, we're gonna finish cleaning this up, and then might be able to cut some beans here in about, probably another hour. That sun came out and it's pretty hot, so we get this stuff stacked up and see if maybe we can go cut. Well, looks like somebody got stuck. We'll get him out. A little wet right here. generator. Hang on. I'll get you. There you go. A little soft right here. It wasn't the first couple times you went through. Huh. We might have to move our pile. It's a little muckier than I thought right here. Don't want to catch a muck on fire. Stuff will burn for years. So, well, we're gonna go cut beans now. It's finally dry enough. It's almost lunchtime. We're gonna go hit the bean field. So, see how the rest of the day goes. So we've come to a point in this project where we got ditches that are a little too deep and a little too wet to cross. So we're gonna make us a bridge. We're gonna take this big cottonwood log and we're gonna drop it down in this ditch. Now I got me a nice bridge. There's a heavy log. So now I can cross it. It'll hold me up when I go across. It's easier for me to do this. Well, maybe not. It's just soft on both sides. It's easier for me to do this than to drive all the way around to the other crossings to get back up on the levee, since I move slower. Dad's strength just drives around with the loader and right up them and away he goes. So, worked out perfect, got us right across. So we're going to leave that in there for a while. That'll serve as a bridge back and forth. So, kind of nice thing about having big wood. That just don't sound right, having big wood. That's what we'll name this video, having big wood. Handling big wood. So anyways, now we're on this other side of that little ditch. We got to get this big cottonwood cleaned up, and then we got to get all of our material out of the ditch that we've brought from that away, because there wasn't enough on that side of that ditch to make a pile out of. So I told Dad's strength, just pile it in the ditch and we'll throw it out and we'll make a pile over here. So that's what we're going to start doing.